Today,
taking a look at our Suzuki starting lineup, Carmichael leads the way, then Barry, Lusk, and Tortelli. Hopefully, Lusk and Tortelli will be able to get some better starts. Get out of that first turn. Rancada, not a factor in the first moto. Further down, you see some of the privateers filling out the field, including Zeb Armstrong, the tallest rider here in the 250 National class. Now, the second moto is getting ready to get underway. You're looking over Ricky Carmichael's shoulder. Look at all those box sets. That's from races he's won. They're running out of room. Will he need another one after the second moto here at Washougal? The cart is sideways, and the gate goes down. And here they come right up through the middle. It looks like Lewis again on the inside. There's Ramsey. There's Dowd. And it looks like Lewis has another hole shot. Unbelievable. A big pile up down coming out of the first turn. A lot of guys go down that time. It looks like all the principals have gotten through. Several privateers are down, and indeed Lewis does have the whole shot. Carmichael is second, and then you see Ramsey, and then the second Moto XXX rider, Nick Way, top four. Two great starts for Moto XXX team.
As we talked about in that first moto, Davey, Yoshimura is doing something right with this Honda. Kyle Lewis knows how to get out of the gate. He came out of there like a rocket. He's out front leading Ricky Carmichael. Let's see if he can hold on for a lap and keep those lap streaks down.
Well, I'll tell you what, Carmichael, a much better start this time. He is right on Lewis's tail. Honda's 1, 2, and 3. You have to go back to fourth before you get a bike a different color. And Carmichael almost went down there. You have to go back to fourth place, John Dowd on his KTM to break up the Hondas. And once again, Morocco, Tortelli, and Lusk did not get very good starts.
When Ricky Carmichael gets out front and the rest of the guys are out back, you might as well just sign the papers. The race is over.
Right now, only Kyle Lewis is preventing Carmichael from getting back up front, and this would be his 18th straight moto win. They're going into the section now where Carmichael passed Lewis in the first moto. Tries a little outside line there. They'll make this left-handed sweeper and then down through the trees where the doubles and tabletops are and see if Carmichael can make a replay. And he comes down on the inside and whoa! Landed right in the mud, holds it on, and Carmichael, unbelievable. Denny, that was a dangerous pass.
That was airing it out to that narrow section. That must have been a surprise to Ricky, all that mud being there. I thought they took a parade lap. They looked like they made her hold water a little bit. A huge surprise for Ricky right there.
And Carmichael, a spectacular pass for the lead. And that is an early exclamation point on this race.
He was lucky he didn't take Kyle Lewis on the process. They could have locked bars and went flying. But again, I think the veterans and the experience showed they knew what was going on. And even though they didn't know what was going on, I think they were prepared for the worst at all times.
We'll be back to Washougal in a moment. When the 1999 National Motocross Tour reached Washougal Park in Washington that August, a clear-cut leader had yet to emerge in the series. Defending champion Doug Henry had already announced that the series would be his farewell tour, yet he came out swinging at Washougal, winning the first moto over Team Honda's Kevin Windham and his Yamaha factory teammate Jimmy Butt. Further back rode Supercross icon Jeremy McGrath, making what had already become by that point in his career a rare outdoor national appearance. In the second moto, Team Kawasaki's Larry Ward, a native of Washington, appeared to have the race in hand, but a late charge through the pack by Butt, a rider who had never won an AMA National or Moto before, landed him in the lead. When first moto leaders Henry and Windham failed to follow Button up through the pack, the likable Yamaha rider found himself celebrating both the moto win and the overall for the day. Career first in both categories.
This is the greatest day of my life so far.
Jimmy Button had waited 10 years to the day to get to the top of the national podium, a fact not lost on friendly rival Jeff Emig, who greeted him in the winner's circle. Sadly, the Washougal 99 win turned out to be the last of Button's career, as a back injury at the San Diego Supercross 6 months later ended his career far too soon. As we return to the current Washougal action, now Denny, you're working with Jimmy Button.
Yeah, I just begun something with Button Fly with Active Sports Management. It's something new that's begun, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Good way to stick around the races. Now Kyle Lewis is your second place rider. Then you see Nathan Ramsey holding on to third. John Dowd comes to him fourth. A little ways back is Sean Hamlin at fifth. Then it's Nick Way, Mike Morocco, and Tim Ferry. LaRocco, a better start than the first moto, but he's still a long ways behind Carmichael. What happened coming out of this corner?
Well, it's hard to tell. Like we talked about, this short start straight makes for a lot of tight action. And if you keep your eye in the center of the screen, you'll see these guys come together, and just a big domino effect again.
Unlike the first moto, most of the top riders were able to get away from that pile-up. Let's go down to Cameron Steele.
Well, I'm here with the 95, 96, 125cc national champion, Steve Lamson. I want to ask you a question. I mean, it's terrible you're out of the race. Crashes in the first turn, both the 250cc motos, we saw pile-ups. Why here? What's going on?
I think the first turn's just a little tighter than most of the tracks, and you know, one guy goes, you know, messes up in the middle of the pack, and it's going to take, you know, 5 or 6 guys down. That's what happened just there. So.
All right, Lammy, we'll see you at the next event.
Thanks a lot.
Back to the battle for second. Ramsey is starting to put a lot of pressure on Kyle Lewis, who's made a couple mistakes. 2 corners in a row. Now it's a full-on drag race up to the top of the hill. And once again, the Yoshimura Honda staying right there in pace with the factory Honda. Lewis fighting for second place, trying to hold off Nathan Ramsey, who finished second in the first moto here.
Look at the power from these four-strokes, Davey. The bikes are just dancing around underneath them. These two have to be in just extreme great shape to handle these big bikes.
Back into the woods. Now Ramsey's going to try an inside line. They come off towards the ski jump, and Lewis once again holds him off. Now Ramsey's on the inside. Lewis swings out and holds Owen. Nathan Ramsey goes down, trying to make a pass on Kyle Lewis. Ramsey throws away, and now he's going to have to restart the bike. You see guys going by. LaRocco, there went Ferry, there went Nickway. Ramsey finally gets it started just in time to hold off Robbie Raynard and Sean Hamlin. So look, Ramsey loses 4 spots by dropping the bike. What happened?
It doesn't look like he did anything any different he's done all day long. He just comes in, loses the front end a little bit, the front end comes over the top of the berm, and it just washes him down the ground he goes.
And just like that, your fortunes can change in outdoor motocross. Ramsey goes from second to 6th. Now Kyle Lewis back in control of second place. John Dowd is 3rd. You see LaRocco in 4th, and another 4-stroke Tim Ferry rounding out the top 5. And John Dowd has been putting in some good rides, Denny, but we haven't seen him this far ahead this late in the moto.
No, it's good to see Dowdy up front. He's had a couple tough weeks with Unadilla in Troy, Ohio. He needs to get back in the top 10. Right now he's in the top 5. Great job for that Cernix KTM.
John Dowd, another veteran, just like Guy Cooper, only 3 years younger. But believe it or not, he is still 37 years old.
Wow, that's incredible, Davey. The longevity of today's riders are just amazing. It just shows what kind of fitness they're in and what kind of great bikes they're riding today.
And another veteran, Mike LaRocco, is coming up behind John Dowd. So when we return, Carmichael continues to lead. Then it's Lewis, Dowd, LaRocco, and Ferry, and Robbie Raynard has moved into 6th. Speedboat's presentation of AMA Motocross is brought to you by Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles. And by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters. Honda, performance first. And take a look at this huge battle for second that has developed while we were away. That's about 2,000 cc's of speed out there. Lewis, Dowd, Ferry, and LaRocco freight training around this Washougal track.
This is unbelievable to watch these guys race. The sounds of
right there, Ferry comes off the wall and hits down, and that's going to open up the door for LaRocco to go by. Close action here. Now Dowd goes around the outside trying to make a pass back. Pass is made, a little bit of contact, but it wasn't a takeout, was it, Denny?
You look to the left of the screen, you see that John Dowd gets a little bit into Tim Ferry. He just blasts in the wall. Suspension compresses and it's bouncing him right back into Dowdy's traffic.
They were both very lucky not to go down right there.
I think LaRocco was luckiest if he would have just ran them both over.
Lewis continues to hold second. Now Ferry gets up next to him. They come off the big ski jump. Ferry's got the inside line. Lewis swoops in, but he can't make the berm. Ferry moves into second. Now Lewis goes back to 3rd, throws a shovel full of dirt back at him. Now Lewis has LaRocco to worry about as they come down to the middle part of the track over the big tabletop. All 4 of these guys battling for second place right now. It belongs to Ferry, then it's Lewis, LaRocco. They come up to the steep jump, scrub a little speed. Lewis trying to hold off the factory connection bike of Mike LaRocco.
We've seen two very aggressive moves by Tim Ferry. I know he's been working with his old friend of mine, Ronnie Tishner. Our team must be teaching him a thing or two about aggression.
Yeah, Tishner could still get on the track with him and hit him a few times. And there goes LaRocco around the outside. And now LaRocco is able to make a pass on Lewis as Lewis fades out to the outside. LaRocco moves into third.
Mike's never say die attitude. He gets a bad start, comes charging to the front. I'm not sure what his lap times are right now, but he's running towards the same similar pace as at least Tim Ferry.
So now Ferry is second. LaRocco is third. Lewis holds on to fourth, and they have started to gap John Dowd. He does not come into the picture. Here's the pass Ferry made.
Timmy just launched off that big ski jump and comes down the inside of Kyle Lewis. Kyle comes flying into this left hammer trying to shut the door. Kyle's front wheel pops out of the rut, and Ferry just runs into the wall. So again, another aggressive move by Tim Ferry. The guy wants to be up front running with Ricky Carmichael. He doesn't want to be back in third and fourth.
And that's the spot where Lewis got past where Nathan Ramsey fell earlier. So Lewis was lucky he didn't go down, but he did lose a spot, and right there Mike LaRocco goes down. LaRocco had passed Lewis in the back section of the track, throws away third place. And now back up to the front of the pack, Ricky Carmichael missing a great race for second place. He's way out front, and now LaRocco's having a hard time getting the bike started. He finally gets going right as Robbie Raynard goes past.
Ricky Carmichael may be well out front, Davey, but there's a lot of action still happening in this race down to the wire.
It's always like that. You got to wonder what this series would be like if Ricky Carmichael were racing in Europe or somewhere. Now here's where LaRocco went down.
Davey, it looks like that Mike just overtook it in the turn, locked up the rear wheel a little bit. His weight transferred over the front end, and it just washed out.
Another fall in a corner. We've seen that a lot this afternoon, this Washougal track. Very deceptive. Now, Ricky Carmichael, who's had a couple close calls, he is right now out front, well on his way to what would be his 18th straight moto win. He had to work for it there on the first lap, passing Kyle Lewis actually right down here in this tree section. But this time, his last tour around, Carmichael is by himself, and this will mean that it has now been exactly 1 year since Ricky Carmichael last lost an outdoor national. He avenges himself here at Washougal, and number 9 this year, number 12 in the last year for Ricky Carmichael, an unbelievable record. Tim Ferry coming down through the woods is second, and it looks like Kyle Lewis will get his second podium finish of the year in third on the Moto XXX Honda. John Dowd was fourth. Robbie Raynard will finish fifth. Here's Ferry at the finish line. That's for second. And then here comes Lewis. He wins the last little sprint with Dowd, and he takes himself another podium, matching the ride he had at Budds Creek, and he gets the KTM into fourth. So looking at our final results, Carmichael, Ferry, Lewis Dowd, and Robbie Raynard. Then it's Nate Ramsey, Mike LaRocco, Ezra Lusk, Nick Way, and Paul Carpenter on the White Brothers Honda. Roncada once again outside the top 10. Let's go down to Cameron Steele. He is with our winner, Ricky Carmichael.
Well, if you're keeping score at home, that's 18 consecutive moto wins. Ricky Carmichael is unstoppable, and you are inching up. Inching up is not the right way to say it. He's about to crush this championship. I think you can clinch it by numbers at Millville.
I hope so. You know, looking forward to going to Millville. That track is just like my track at home, and I've always had a lot of luck there. So looking forward to going to Millville and trying to wrap this title up. I've gained some points on Timmy today, and felt good. The Honda's working awesome today.
Like your track at home. That's kind of scary for everybody else to think about. Let's talk about something different. You're out there, you're pretty much whooping up on the guys. No disrespect, but the track is what you're racing, it seems at times. How's the track here at Washougal? How is it at the end of the race?
Oh, it was pretty rough today, you know. It's a little hard to make up time, you know. The track is a bit narrow.
When were you making up time?
I don't know if I was or not, but anyhow. The track here is good. The promoters do a good job, and it's kind of hard pack and a little slippery, so it takes some technique to ride here, and felt good today, and glad to get 9 straight wins.
Right on. Well, congratulations, Ricky Carmichael, making up time or spreading out time. Unbelievable performance. You're champion here today.
Thanks.
The overall results will show Carmichael on top. Of course, Ferry's 3-2 is good for second. Kyle Lewis a 4-3 for third overall. Mike LaRocco, not that great of a day, 9-7. Let's go back to Cameron. He's with Kyle Lewis.
Kyle Lewis puts a privateer on the podium overall, 3rd overall, your first podium for the year.
You know, it feels great. Yoshimura has built me a great bike. My mechanic, Alan Brown, has prepared a great bike for me. You know, I just put my head down today and rode hard. I got both starts. Ricky and I actually had a bet, both motos, who would get the start, and he owes me $10.
Whoa, $10. That's pretty nice to win something from Ricky Carmichael. No one else has been able to win anything from him. Congratulations on a great ride, Kyle.
All right, thanks a lot.
We'll take a look at the point standings. Ricky Carmichael, 450. That is a perfect score. Tim Ferry, 2nd overall. He's 101 points behind. And sorry, we were not able to get to him in the winner's circle. So Carmichael, 9 in a row. Can he make it throughout the entire season? We'll find out.